Let's be honest, the galaxies will probably loom over every other Foamposite release for the rest of 2025, but that doesn't mean we still can't have nice things. The shoe that I'm reviewing today, I think it's pretty nice. Nike Air Foamposite 1 Black Foam. The shoe is dropping on March 14th for $240. March looks to be a pretty huge year for sneakers in 2025, so this is probably gonna go under the radar. And first impressions of this shoe, I like it, I don't love it. I think this green, this Volt color is maybe a bit too loud, just a bit too out there. I love the predominant use of black. I really like black shoes. It's very sleek, it's like a nighttime look. But yeah, this very loud Volt, I think it looks like highlighted green or yellow. It's just a bit too out there for me, but it is still decent. It is decent. It is pretty clean. If you don't mind this one kind of strong, heavy accent, I think this might be for you. Now, when I first saw this colorway, it immediately reminded me of the Paranormans that came out in 2012. That was a shoe in tandem with the movie that was coming out. Only 800 pairs of that shoe came out, and the way they chose winners was kind of weird. They had people submit like their weird childhood photos on, it was Twitter, one of those social media platforms. Super exclusive colorway. That was a pretty cool and special sneaker, and possible to get. So this might be like the regular peasant man's version of the Paranormans, and I'm a peasant, and I'm fine with it. And the materials on the shoe, of course, it is Foamposite material in this very distinct shape. That shape is inspired by a beetle's shell. And the Foamposite material, it is very unique. They heat up polyurethane to around 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Then they pour it into this very expensive mold. Once that liquid cools in the mold, it forms this shape. And the reason why foams are $240, they came out in 1997 for a price of $180. So it was always a very expensive shoe. And the reason why that is because that mold that they use is super pricey, very expensive. But one good thing about the foams is it is very durable. You can wear it for a long time, and the material starts to mold around your feet the more you wear it. Now, the recent Foamposite retros have gone with a slightly softer type of Foamposite material compared to like the original from 1997. And the shape of the current Foamposites is also slightly more slender and sleek. So if you look at an original photo of a 1997 foam, it just looked more chunkier and bulkier. I know a lot of people would just want their shoes and shape to look exactly like how they were from when they first came out. I actually kind of prefer this like sleeker and slimmer look. Now, moving up the tongue, on the eye stays, you get synthetic nubuck. That stays true to the original Foamposites. They've always had synthetic nubuck on that part of the shoe. And of course, on the lateral side, you get this mini swoosh in the same type of Volt color with a line going right up the tongue, up to that jeweled 1 cent Penny Hardaway logo. And this tongue is actually part of like this inner booty. I'll get more to sizing and comfort later. And I say this for every single Foamposite review, I love that 1 cent logo. Penny Hardaway was also just like one of the most electric players when he was still playing in the NBA, especially when he was young, played for the Magic. Just super exciting. And fun fact, the reason why Penny Hardaway is basically the face of the Foamposites is because this shoe originally was meant for Scottie Pippen, but Penny Hardaway was in a meeting with Nike designers and executives, can't remember which group, but people from Nike, and he saw a sample of the foams and he was like, I need those, give me those. And of course you see these two pull tabs. I don't love how that looks. That's my one biggest gripe about the Foamposites. I usually don't like pull tabs on any shoes. One is the max amount that I'm willing to accept, but foams, there are two. On a good Foamposite colorway, I'm still willing to accept it, but yeah, generally don't love too many pull tabs. Wrapping around the back of the shoe, get another 1 cent Penny Hardaway logo that is embroidered. And the Foamposites comes with a full-length zoom air unit with another zoom air unit on the heel, so double stacked on the back of the foot there. And it also comes with a carbon fiber plate. You can see that very clearly in the way it kind of goes up to the sides of the shoe. It helps with side-to-side containment as well as like torsional rigidity. You don't want your shoes to really bend and twist very easily. Remember, this was originally a basketball shoe, so that's very important. The carbon fiber plate can also help with kinetic energy return. So when you like exploding, digging your feet into the ground, you want the energy to explode back up. And of course, this outsole has a very distinct Volt highlighter green and yellow color. Just by far the most loudest part of this colorway, with another 1 cent logo on the heel there. Now surprisingly, this outsole actually isn't glow in the dark. I guess it kind of looks like it glows all the time, but I like charged it, put it under the sun, wasn't really able to create that effect. The Galaxies that just came out, I put it under the sun for like 30 minutes and straight away I could get that glow in the dark effect. The shoe, I just couldn't get it to work. So I don't think it is glow in the dark outsoles, but for all intents and purposes, it's kind of looking like it glows all the time. And the insole of the shoe, it is actually mismatched branding. So one is in this Volt color and the other one is basically a reverse of that. And one is Nike Air and the other one has the 1 cent logo. Quality, not the best. In the box of the shoe, nothing much more to it, just a black Nike box, regular white paper inside. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer for Foamposites. I just go true to size. It is a shoe that requires a lot of break-in time. It is clunky, it is heavy, can feel like a brick on feet. If weight is a priority for you, definitely don't go for the foams. They came out at 99.7. The materials used are not the lightest, but under your feet, cushioning wise, feels pretty good still. Full length zoom with another zoom in the heel, feels relatively responsive. And yeah, the way this kind of just molds around your feet, the more you wear it, feels very comfortable. One kind of gripe that I have in terms of comfort for this shoe, it is this ankle padding around the foams, not very like thick. It kind of feels thin compared to like, you know, the Jordan 1s or 2s where there's quite a bit of padding around there. So I don't love that. This inner booty that is part of the tongue and wraps around the back of your feet, that actually feels pretty nice. Kind of feels like you're wearing an extra layer of socks, just kind of snugly puts your feet in this shoe. Now, if you're wide-footed that does prefer like a slightly looser fit, you could go up half a size. I personally just stick true to size and have some patience and really break the shoe in. And that brings the total score of the Foamposite 1 Black Volt to 29 out of 40. A pretty average score compared to other general releases. First, it is colorway. As an all black sneaker lover, love the colorway in terms of the base. Like the black is great. This Volt color is not my favorite. It is just too out there for me. So I like the colorway, don't love it. In terms of materials, always have liked Foamposite material. It's durable, it is unique, it is different, molds to your feet the longer you wear it. I still put leather above everything else, but the foams, it is just so different. And in terms of the comfort of this shoe, when you're first breaking it in, it can feel a little bit stiff, might not be the most comfortable shoe, but as you wear it, it gets better and better. That's the big upside. The one downside is the weight of the shoe. It is a pretty old shoe, it does feel kind of clunky and chunky. I've never really cared too much about the weight of my shoes. It's not really been a priority for me, but if you do care about it, probably look for a shoe that has more modern day tech, like uses lightweight materials on the upper. And in terms of the versatility of this shoe, I think the foams can be a bit too chunky for a lot of people, especially people that don't care about sneakers. This was on a shelf. I don't feel like it has huge mass appeal. And in terms of the wearability of the colorway, apart from this Volt color, I think it's actually a decently versatile colorway, but because the whole outsole is this very bright Volt green color, I think that definitely makes it less wearable. It is just a bit too much. If the outsole was a slightly more tamed or like subtle version of this color, or even just like plain translucent outsoles or icy outsoles, I think it'd be quite a wearable colorway, but I guess that defeats the point of this colorway. So yeah, overall, not the most wearable and versatile shoe. Will any of the Foamposites coming out for the rest of 2025 come close to the Galaxies? Probably not. Maybe the pearls that are dropping at the end of the year, that might be on a similar level. I really like that colorway, but I don't think the Galaxies should be the barometer and standard for a good Foamposite. I think that's just such high expectations. If you like a relatively simple colorway with one thing that kind of makes it stand out and makes a statement, I think this colorway might be good for you. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what you think of the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Black Volt. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.